Hi, it's Howard from the Book of Genesis. I'm in lockdown but not in hiding. My hair's getting longer, so I'm getting more and more Tony Banks-like. When I go to my hairdresser next, when they reopen, I can ask for a Tony Banks cut and he'll have more to start with. So we can always hope for the best. So I'm going to take you through One for the Vine. I've got the music here. One for the Vine is one of the most interesting pieces of Genesis in the whole repertoire, in my view. You've got two tracks in Wind and Wuthering, 11th for the Mile and One for the Vine, two of the best tracks side by side, as one of my friends once said. And as you go into One for the Vine, almost immediately from the start we have some interesting chords and conflicts in the music. So the second chord, the right hand is playing a G major, which is a happy chord, and the left hand is playing D minor, which is a sad chord. Sad chord of D minor. And the right hand together with the left hand produces a lovely conflict between the major and minor, which is used repeatedly throughout the piece and gives that very interesting tension to the piece. And then we go into the and again straight away we're confronted with a rhythmic pattern which is used again in the piece a number of times as a theme to give an interesting rhythm. And then we continue. Well, now we've thrown straight into some jazz. Welcome to Jazz Club. Nice. That's a lovely chord, isn't it? And just as when we thought we were, on safe territory in 4/4 time, we get thrown a bar of 13/8 time. Here we go. That bar of 13, where did that come from? Genesis used 13 in a few places. They use it in Turn It On Again, of all things, later on. And that's why you can't dance to Turn It On Again and you can't dance to One for the Vine, because it has a lot of time signature changes which makes it pretty much impossible to dance to. Then we come on to the next section. And that's got an interesting rhythmic pattern as well, with a bum 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 bum. Okay, and then we have a repeat of the verse choruses, so I won't bother to play that. And then we have again a very interesting time signature, a bar of 15/8 thrown in. So I can't take more. This is all that I've been through. Let me rest for a while. That was on a bit. And then we go to a bit. And then we go to a almost like a waltz-like effect. And again we're going from a minor keys with B flats and E flat key signatures to suddenly a key of G in a major key. And then we go into the beautiful quiet bit. He walked into the valley all alone. And what's interesting is the first note's missed out, so instead of the piano just plays which throws you because you think there should be one more note, but it's not there. So that sounds very like Eric Satie to me. If I play you a bit of Jeunopody, which is one of the most sublime pieces of music ever written, in my view. It's a very familiar tune. You know, if Eric Satie had written just that one piece and nothing else ever in his whole life, he'd still be remembered for that one piece because it's wonderful. But he's written lots of wonderful music, actually. I'm a big fan of Eric Satie, and I believe so is Tony, because is very Eric Satie-like. Eric Satie has a habit of finishing a piece or changing in a piece from major to minor keys to give a kind of lemon twist or acid twist to the music, and Tony does the same thing. He loves that sort of change between major and minor. And then we go back to the opening theme, which is used throughout the piece to form a kind of an anchor, a place to come back to, or a place to join the different sections together. Then we have the very exciting overhand section. Now this overhand section, again, Tony uses it to be able to play notes very fast. It's a technique that goes back to composers like Debussy, who had a piece called Mouvement, which goes like this. And I think Tony maybe played that piece, or he had heard it, or one of the other pieces where that overhand technique comes in. So Tony uses it in lots of places. He uses it in Carpet Crawlers, he uses it in Lamb Lartin on Broadway, Riding the Scree, No Reply at All. It's used in a lot of places. So you've got that bit going on, and then we had I went round to Bob's house, our guitarist, before lockdown, and we were working out this section, and Bob said, you know, there's a really strange bit in there, and I didn't believe him at first, and he said it goes, I said it can't do, and he said yeah, but it does. So there's that discord. If you play it really slow, you'll hear that discord. Goodness knows how Tony came up with it, perhaps by accident, I don't know. And then you've got this Middle Eastern sounding kind of dance that goes. So that section there, you've got a very interesting little dance bit thrown in, and then you have a kind of a belly dance after that. Interesting rhythm. Here comes the belly dance. Repeats itself, and then we have a kind of a march. Sort of soldier's march. It's incredible, all the different changes in the piece. and now we're into 7/8. Time signature used in Trick of the Tail. Instead of 4 beats or 3 beats to the bar, which is what you usually have in music, or 2 beats, you've got 7. So a bar of 4 and a bar of 3. It's used in Dance on the Volcano, and it's and then you have a solo which is played on both guitar and keyboards. This is the keyboard part. Again, some interesting time signature changes there. It's not very regular. And then you've got the minor key coming in again, minor scale, and then back to the ending to bridge to the next section, which is a repeat of the verse and chorus from the earlier sections. And then you finish up with a solo. So a nice big finish with a solo. Again, you'd expect, but no, Tony plays an interesting chord there as well. And then a modulation, and another modulation. And I think he probably wanted to get back to the right key. And then so we've got that major key, but before long it's going to go back to a minor key. It's a major key there on the right hand, but the left hand is playing different notes, which gives an indication of more of a minor key, although the right hand's playing a major chord. Then the left hand again changes to a G, which is in conflict with the right hand chord of D. But Tony resolves it at the very end to a chord of D, with the left hand playing D. So that, even at the very last few notes, he's got a conflict still going on. And that conflict is part of the story of the conflict of somebody who, at one hand, is the leader of a group of people who are perhaps fighting an enemy, and who doubts himself. And it's that conflict between somebody who doubts himself but are seen by others to be a great leader, and then he sees himself almost as if he's taken out of his own body and observes himself in the story. So there's some good interpretations on the internet of the meaning of the lyrics if you care to look for them. And that conflict, I think, is what's repeated in the music, and I hope I've tried to bring that across. So I think it's a really incredible piece of music. It encompasses jazz, it encompasses syncopation, it encompasses key signature changes and time signature changes that just abound throughout the piece. I mean, you know, we're constantly changing, and it's that constant changing desert landscape or mountains of ice, depending on where we are in the song. You know, that it's almost like a dream type of feel to it, a dream kind of series of changes where we go from one scene to another and then finally come back to the beginning. And it really is incredible. It's an incredible journey in 10 minutes through a piece of music. So really a fantastically well crafted piece of music by Tony Banks with a lot of classical influence and the characteristic of Genesis of having left hand notes being different from the right hand chords, and the overhand section. It's got a lot of the hallmarks of Genesis, and of course when it's played on the record and of course live, you've got the piano, you've got the organ, you've got the mellotron, you've got the synthesizer, all playing together, so you have a sort of whole orchestra of sound really. Even has a bit of double drumming, so you've got everything there in 10 minutes. So I really look forward to playing this for you live when you come and see us after lockdown. I hope everybody stays safe.